Hey everyone, if you're running on Business Central, you know how important it is to stay on top of the latest updates. Well, a pretty big one is on the horizon. We're going to dive deep into the 2026 Wave 1 update, that's BC28, to unpack what's getting deprecated and, more importantly, what's coming in to take its place. All right, let's get into it. So, let me just ask you this right off the bat. Are you, or maybe your clients, still relying on some of those older classic reports? Or what about your integrations? Are they still plugged into the version 1.0 API? If you're nodding your head right now, then yeah, you are definitely in the right place and you're going to want to stick around for this. You see, with BC28, Microsoft is basically doing a massive spring cleaning. But this isn't just about throwing stuff out. The big idea here is all about modernization. It's a really strategic shift away from those rigid, code-heavy tools toward things that are way more flexible, powerful, and honestly, just easier for everyone to use. So, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll talk about why Microsoft is doing this big house cleaning. Then, we'll get into the huge changes coming to analytics. After that, we'll tackle the super important API upgrade. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with a simple, actionable checklist to get you ready. Okay, so what's the real story behind this cleanup? Well, it all comes down to putting power back where it belongs, with you, the user. Microsoft is getting rid of old features that were a pain to customize and maintain, and they're clearing the way for much, much better tech. You know, this quote really hits the nail on the head. For way too long, if you wanted to tweak something as simple as a report, you had to call in a developer who knew their way around AL or VBA. The whole point now is to break that dependency and put the power to customize right in the hands of the people who actually use the data day in and day out. All right, let's get into the biggest area of change: analytics and reporting. And I'm not talking about a minor tweak here. This is a complete rethinking of how we get insights out of Business Central. So what's on the chopping block? Well, a whole lot. Those old Excel reports on the business manager and accountant role centers, they're out. The old school Power BI apps from the marketplace, being replaced. That intelligent cloud insights feature, gone. And that's not all. We're talking dozens of old school reports in finance, manufacturing, and purchasing, like the classic aged accounts receivable, are being completely removed. This slide right here really tells the whole story, doesn't it? It shows that huge shift in thinking. We're moving from a world that was rigid, static, and required a developer for everything to this new reality that's flexible, driven by you, and lets you customize things with no code, all in one place. It's a total game changer. But here's the best part. You're not actually losing functionality. You are getting a massive upgrade. The replacements are fantastic. We're talking powerful data analysis you can do right on any list page, reports with modern Excel layouts that you can actually edit yourself, and 7 brand new super powerful Power BI apps that cover pretty much everything. Okay, let's shift gears from what users see to the technical stuff that makes it all work, your integrations. This is another huge, and I mean mandatory, update. We're talking about the API. And let me be crystal clear here. API v1.0 isn't just being deprecated, it's being completely removed. When BC28 lands, it will be gone. Any custom integrations, any apps, any third-party tools still using v1.0 will just stop working, period. And this slide right here shows you exactly why this is happening. API v2.0 is just so much better. It's way faster because it simplifies things. It uses unique, stable GUID keys instead of those complicated multi-part keys, which makes everything more reliable and easier to audit. It's simply more robust, more secure, and way more performant. Now, for all you developers watching, think of this as a quick cheat sheet. Don't worry about memorizing it, but just notice the small but critical change in the endpoint structure. It looks simple, but that change from v1.0 to v2.0 is something you're going to have to update in all of your integration code. So, we've gone through the what and the why. Now for the most important part. What do you actually need to do to get ready for all this? Well, don't worry. We've boiled it down to a simple 4-step action plan. All right, here's your plan. Step 1, audit. You've got to go on a hunt. Find every single legacy report and every v1.0 API call in your system. Step 2, learn. Get your teams, especially finance and ops, playing with the new Power BI apps and Excel layouts now. Get them comfortable. Step 3, test. Don't wait until the last minute. Start testing the new versions of your most critical reports today. And finally, step 4, migrate. For developers, this is your call to action. Start planning that move from API v1.0 to v2.0 right now. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final thought. This whole update isn't just about avoiding a broken report or a failed API call. This is a fundamental upgrade to your entire Business Central toolkit. So the real question isn't just, are you ready? It's how is your team going to use these better, faster, and more powerful tools to really drive your business forward? The upgrade is coming, but the opportunity to innovate is already here.